My second round. The reason why I'm having my second round of juicing is because I stopped juicing, and in my mind my portions were going to be controllable. I was going to be eating better, probably not so much on the weekends. So what had happened was I of course cheated the weekend, and then I went back the very next Monday and Tuesday eating the way I was eating before the juice fast. And so I gained 3 of my 15 pounds back real quick. So I was like, let me just do this little ditty again. So anyway, now this, the Bella is the more expensive juicer. So this was the one we had originally, and we ended up taking this thing back twice. Not necessarily because it's not a good juicer, but the tweaks were, you know. So anyway, with this one, it was loud, and it has different settings, 2 different settings for like leaves and the others for harder vegetables. And I just ended up using high on everything just because it was an inconvenience to keep switching, altering the speed. I took it back the first time because something was going on with the blender bucket, the grinder bucket. Then when I got it back, the next new one had so much space here, I guess, between the plastic and the cup, the fiber cup, that things would spew out. Things would spew out all over the counter. You know, vegetables or leftover fibrous parts. So I started, because I had taken it back twice already, I just started putting a bag in here, and that resolved the problem. But then there was an incident where the center started smoking, and I ended up turning it off and then turning it back on about 3 times to resolve that. So it was time for a new juicer, obviously, and with me using it daily, multiple times a day, it wasn't really going to work out. This is the BigMouth, and it was a really popular one, and it was a less expensive one, which is why my bougie ass didn't get it originally, because I felt like it wouldn't be sufficient for my needs because it was, you know, the cheaper product. And also, I used a lot of little bitty, you know, shallow things to help me walk through the decision, like how small this is compared to the cup for the Bella juicer. That's going to be a lot of juice, and this in comparison not so much. So there were a couple of factors. Didn't feel like this had a significant enough splash guard to keep splashes from coming off. But ironically, I was like, it has all those shortcomings, and yet it has a bigger fiber cup. So like I said, rather than just get another Bella, we decided to go ahead and try the cheaper BigMouth. I have to say that it is smoother. It is quieter. It is by no means quiet, but it is quieter than the Bella. I just out of habit, I went ahead and put a bag in here, so I didn't have a problem with everything spewing everywhere. The only spewing issues is, of course, when you're putting something in for the first time and you don't get the stopper on the fast enough. But it actually it seems to be a better juicer in general, particularly to be less expensive. So, and while I'm here, I'll show you a few of the other things I have. I have a serrated knife that's really good for my larger red cabbage. This has become my favorite strainer because I can actually just put it in the mouth of the jar that I use. These are the jars that I use. And it fits right in the mouth of there. And strains pulp for me. There's melon baller. I use this to core the apples once I've cut them in half. The peel, of course, I use when I have like cucumbers from the store. If I have cucumbers from my garden, it's not an issue, of course, but if I have cucumbers and things from the store, I peel them first. I have a large bowl for washing my leafy greens. And in fact, the actual glass container that I put leftover excess juice in. Those are a few of the doodads. And we are apparently big supporters of Hamilton Beach because I didn't realize that's what our coffee maker is. Yeah, I've actually cleaned this up so I can put this back in its box and store it because I need the counter space, and any coffee we're drinking now is creaky, and he just makes them instant now and then. So I'm going to put that back in its box. But all in all, a really nice convenience for juicers would be easy cleaning. And although I don't really care who markets their juicers as easy cleaning, that is never going to happen when you understand what the necessary process is for the machine to juice your vegetables. It's going to need to use that bladed basket, and it's going to need to be that intricate, and it's going to be difficult to clean. And in fact, let me just tell you, I use a baby bottle cleaner for my take the end of that and in circular motions clean the so that is also a very important tool that you'll want to have with your juicer. And while we're talking about cleaning, let me mention that you don't want to submerge this in water, nor do you want to put it in your dishwasher, because water will collect in here somehow. And then the last thing you want is something that has standing water to be in your, to then be used to push down your vegetables that you're going to be ingesting. So I haven't even tried it with this one, just because I experienced it with that one. That was all. You don't need to tell me twice. And speaking of juicers, that sucker is a bitch to clean. It's a bitch to clean. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care how. Matter of fact, that's why when we started juicing the red cabbage, we went from every day, every night juicing to a few times a week. That's why that happened, really. Really. But the truth is, if you either want to do it or you don't. The juicing, that is, because you don't want to have to clean the thing every day, much less 3 times a day. But you either want to do it or you don't. Don't make excuses, and you go ahead and acknowledge that the stuff that sucks, but you're gonna deal with it because it's better than the other stuff that sucks, which is being fat and damn near dead. So I'd rather deal with the suckage of keeping the juicer clean. And let me just say, I get it. I get why people, why the juicers are a pain to clean. It's a juicer. I don't see anybody creating one. They'll sell you on the fact that it's an easy clean juicer, but there is no easy clean juicer. You know, let me get rich and find out there's a self-cleaning juicer. Let that happen. Man, I'll be their #1 spokesperson. But anyway, it's not going to happen, because if you think about what a juicer does, it pulverizes shit, and in the process of pulverizing shit, in the blade bucket are the tiny little mesh holes that fibers have to pass through. That's never going to be easy to clean. It's just not. I don't see it. I don't see them coming up with that kind of. And if they can, they already have, and they haven't told us. Bill Gates knows it. He has a self-cleaning juicer.